This is the first Monday of 2021. Um, I just wanted to kind of jump on here. It's a little different setting. This room I'm in now. I'm gonna try to clean this out and get a consistent uh, streaming room in here or whatnot. That way I can get the light and everything done. But in the meantime, so this is the first Monday of 2021, and I just wanted to hop on here and talk about some things that happened in the last week of 2020 for me. Since being diagnosed with depression and PTSD in June of last year, I have been home from work. I haven't been able to go to work. So I had to, I've been having to cut corners or whatnot. So I had to sell my pickup truck this past week, which was, I get that it's just a vehicle, things can be replaced, but at the same time, I'd worked hard. It was my first brand new truck. It was a 2019. I'd never been able to have a brand new truck. And so it was really difficult having to sell that. It was just kind of, it was like one of those gut check moments, where things are starting to go bad. And now, here's a reality. You're having to get rid of things because of what's going on. It just really sucked. And I know, I know it's just a vehicle. It can be replaced, and woe's me. That's not what I'm trying to say. It just really, I don't know, it just hit different because, if I was still working, it wouldn't have happened. I'd still be able to have my truck. But unfortunately, I'm not able to go back to work right now. So that's the consequences of not working. And it'd be so much easier and on me if I could just go back to work and just say, forget it. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. And just put on my boots like I've been doing my whole life, lace them up, go to work, and just deal the best way I know how in the meantime. But, having to take this break and focus on yourself, I think it's good in some ways because it forces you to look at things in your life and understand yourself a little bit better than you normally would, given the fact that you're dealing with normal everyday stuff, like having to go to work, take the kids here, go pick this up, do this, that, and other, everything on your agenda. You don't have that time to stop and critically think about your life and about your feelings and what you're going through. And so there's none of that being forced onto you. But in what happened to me is I had just been holding on to all of this stuff for so long. I couldn't take it. My analogy to it is, you have a bucket of water and it's been collecting rainwater for all these years. Sooner or later, the bucket's going to overflow if you don't take some of that water out, and so that's just kind of, I feel like that's just kind of what happened to me. My bucket it was just, it overran. And so now I'm having to empty my bucket out of, all this stuff that's just been holding me down and weighing on my mind and my heart over the last 30 plus years. So it's difficult, I do want to say something about when the whole point, I'm really I'm really aggravated and kind of upset about the whole stigma with mental illness and mental health issues, because the reason why more people, I think, do not seek treatment or do not seek help is because they're worried about the potential scenarios where people are calling them out or um, saying things. And for an example, so when I did have to go sell my truck the other day, the place I sold it was just 5 minutes down the road. Nothing about the place. It was just in talking with the salesperson. They were asking me. It's a brand new truck. It only had like 4,600 miles on it. The guy was like, "Well, why are you getting rid of it?" And I told him, that I'd been out of work since June, and I had, this is it. I can't afford to keep a 40,000 some odd dollar paperweight in my driveway if I'm not working, so I had to sell it. And in doing so, I shared with him that, I was suffering with PTSD. And no sooner than I told him that, 5 minutes later, we're in the room, and they come back and they're like, "Well, we'll pay everything but $140." And I was like, "No, the truck's worth, more than that. You're gonna get your money back. There's nothing wrong with the vehicle." And he stopped and said, "Well, I'm not trying to upset you. I can tell your eyes are glossing over. I've got a lot of friends with PTSD, so I'm not trying to upset you or make you upset." And just right then, that guy hadn't. He has no idea how I look when I'm doing business. He didn't know me long enough to know if my eyes were glossing over, if I was upset, which I wasn't upset. I was just sitting there looking at him. But because I had told him that I was dealing with this issue, it gave him an opportunity to bring that up. And that's what I'm talking about. This is just a random person. I think that's the first person I've told, besides my doctors, um, my very close family, that I was dealing with something. And the first person I say to out loud, they turn around and try to use that in a way of that I thought was just completely um, unacceptable, because I started this journey about wanting to get this message out and about wanting to help deal with the stigma that is associated with mental illnesses. When I was going to my ketamine treatments, I had my fifth ketamine treatment. I had just this powerful, um, overwhelming just need. I felt like I was floating on top of like this chair, and like there was cameras and like microphones, like people needed to hear that. I had this overwhelming sense that people need to hear these things, because no one is telling them that it's okay. Like, it's okay to be broken. It's okay to have these problems. There's nothing wrong with you. 1 out of 6 people deal with some sort of mental illness, and it's not something that's going to ruin your life. There's many degrees of mental illness. It, you know, bipolar, general anxiety, depression, severe depression, PTSD, childhood trauma, um, schizophrenia, uh, social anxiety. There's many different things that constitute mental illness, and for the longest time, um, I've been taking Xanax. I had no idea that that was a um, a psychiatric drug. As far as I just thought, when they give it to me, I had anxiety and they gave me this medicine, but I didn't realize I was already on um, a form of a psychiatric medicine. So, I mean, this is just why I feel like it's just even more important now that I speak up and I speak to what I know and to my truths, and to try to reach out to as many people as possible, because it is okay to say you're not okay. It is okay to say that you are not okay. The people around you that love you, care about you, they will understand, and that will be they will be there for you. The people that don't understand, that won't be there for you, those aren't the people that matter. I urge everyone, if you feel like you are you're starting to feel isolated, like you want just don't want to be around anybody, depression physically, like it physically hurts. Like I just feel and I felt just like physically drained all the time. I felt like, I had aches and pains, and my emotions were at the at the top. Like it didn't take much for my emotions to come out, because they were so, a stiff wind could blow and it would change my emotions. So when you start feeling these things, you know when you're not feeling right, right? You know when something's going on, but you may not know exactly what that is. You just realize there's a difference in your life. What is that difference? You don't know. Well, take a look at your surroundings. Has something recently just happened to you? Are you going through a divorce? Are you going through a breakup? That's situational depression. That's stuff that's happening in your day to day that has caused this stress and this type of depression. And then there's biological depression, where you're just like, you can literally be born and um be at a risk to having depression. So it differs, but no one should ever downgrade, look down upon, or try to shame anyone for seeking treatment. That's absurd, and I can't believe that we stand for it. All these people fighting for all these rights, gays. Look at how far gay people have come. Look, I don't care who you love who you want to love. That's okay with me. The point is, if you go back 20 years ago, gay people weren't even allowed to be married. Gay people weren't allowed to, they didn't come out of the closet. They weren't accepted. But because they fought and fought and fought, now they're accepted. And not only are they accepted, but it's thrown upon you. You can't cut on the TV um, you know, without seeing gay people just on regular TV. And my son's like, why are these two guys kissing? And then I have to explain to him, what's going on, which is it's, it's a delicate situation when you're talking to a 14-year-old boy about why two grown men are on TV kissing. But the analogy I'm trying to make there, and the way I'm tying that up, is that 20 years ago, you wouldn't have saw that. The times have changed, but also because they've had people out there fighting for them, to get the type of understanding from society that they want, and they got it. I mean, and you can name many of other organizations. Look at BLM and Antifa. These people are far right, left, radical, extremist groups. I think BLM raised something like $40 billion or $30 billion just over the last summer, 2 summers. So, and it's I know I'm trying to compare an illness to an organization, but I think the sentiment is clear: is that the more that squeaky wheel squeaks, it's going to get old. And until people understand that mental illness is, it's like getting cancer. I mean, it's like getting diabetes. It should be treated just like any other disease because that's exactly what it is. Your mind is literally affected, your body's affected. You can't concentrate. Like, I wanted to try to do a stream every day. And after last week, I wasn't really into the holidays. Most days I just sit and just think about things, and I can't I can't watch TV for very long because I, I can't concentrate that long. I spend a lot of my time on YouTube because they're 4 or 5 minute videos, and I skip around, and I can't read. I've been trying to read this book for a month, and I'm only on like page 43. Um, and I wanted to spend more time on this, but you you just don't have the energy and the want. You literally want to crawl up into a ball and shut the blinds and not have anyone around, and you just want to be left alone. That's all you want. It's sad. I'm gonna upload a video that I put on my Snapchat um, right after. And by the way, my last video that I posted, that was right after a session with my therapist. So I'm kind of therapy days are hard, man. They they will take their toll on you because they're so emotional, and they're really tough. And afterwards, you feel drained. You feel like you just ran a marathon. And for somebody that used to run 5, 6 miles a day and lift weights every day, I mean, it was the same kind. It's not the same kind of tired. Like, your body's tired. It's like you're mentally drained. You just can't. You don't want to deal with nothing else that day. But that's how powerful. And I believe that that's good though. So if you are seeking treatment and you're having sessions and they aren't leaving you like that, I don't think you're getting nothing out of it, because I mean, you should tap yourself. You should go in as deep as you can, and you have to go in with a purpose. You can't just show up and say that's good enough. You have to go in with a purpose to say, okay, I'm going to talk about these issues because these are the issues that's holding me back from life. This is what I need to change. This is what I want to happen. And so I've done that from the very beginning. From the first day that I called and I reached out to somebody, I said I'm going to be as upfront and as honest, because it's not doing them any good and it's not doing you any good to not be honest and to not be sincere and to tell them everything. You can't leave stuff out because you're still ashamed or afraid or whatever the case may be. You have to let it all go, or you'll never. It's not gonna come back right. And I've used this analogy with my therapist too. It's like your circuit board. Like, think of your brain as a circuit board, and lightning strikes it and it fries all of those synapses in your brain, and now they're rewired different. That's kind of how it is. And I remember on one of my ketamine treatments, I was actually in my mind reconnecting different. I could visually see myself like reconnecting different parts of my brain, and that's one of the great things about ketamine, is that it actually does repair synapses in your brain. So, and it lights up parts of your brain that have been dead. It shows it. You can see it on scans, on brain imaging. I've watched it on videos. These parts of the brain light up. So I just wanted to get on here and give like a 2021 Monday morning, hey, how y'all doing? And just a little something that I experienced the last week of 2020, and just some little stuff. But I'll try to get an area set up and the lighting better. This video quality sucks. I'm sorry, by the way. But you guys stick around. I'm gonna be posting a lot more videos, hopefully, and I'll try and do my best to have a better setup so it's more easy on the eyes, because I know looking at something like this, it really kind of it takes away from the message when the video quality isn't good, or how it is. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll try to do a video a day, and This is mental deep